Hi, I'm Becky Dethlefs, and I'd like to talk to you today about how to make kombucha. Kombucha is a fermented, slightly effervescent drink made from black tea or possibly green tea. It originated in China thousands of years ago, but has now become popular in this country. It's very easy to make at home with a few simple pieces of equipment and some supplies. My stepdaughter actually gave me a starter kit for Christmas, and I started making it then. So let's get started. I want to tell you about how to make kombucha. These are the ingredients needed to make kombucha. Water, starter liquid from a previous batch of kombucha, or white vinegar can substitute if you don't have a previous batch, a cup of plain sugar, 3 family-sized tea bags, and a SCOBY. I'm going to tell you more about that in a moment. But these are the basic ingredients for brewing your own kombucha. This is a SCOBY, a symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast. Yes, I know it looks a little weird, but it's perfectly safe. This is what ferments the black tea and turns it into kombucha. This is the equipment you need to make the kombucha. A large glass bottle or jar. This one came from the kombucha shop, but you can use any large jar that you might find. The saucepan to boil the water and brew the tea in. A plastic funnel. Plastic works better than metal because the kombucha can react with the metal. A coffee filter and a rubber band to cover the jar. Just your basic kitchen spoon, plastic or wooden. Probably plastic is a little bit better to stir things. And then these flip-top bottles called Grolsch bottles. You can actually buy bottles that have other beverages in them and then reuse them for the kombucha. You can also put it in other things like mason jars, or you can use a plastic water bottle maybe once or twice. But these flip-top bottles are best because it does get bubbly and carbonated, and the flip tops leave room for expansion when it does get bubbly. Steep the tea bags in boiling water for 5 minutes, remove them, and then allow the tea to cool. Okay, let's start putting the kombucha together. I'm going to put the sugar in the tea, which has been cooling, and stir until it's dissolved. Okay, and then we're going to put the SCOBY into the jar. You want to make sure your hands are really clean and everything has been cleaned and washed. You can disinfect it with white vinegar. All right, let's see how that tea is about lukewarm, so it's okay. It's cool enough. It's cool enough to put in there. You don't want it still hot, or it can kill the SCOBY. So we add the tea to the jar. Then next we need 1 cup of starter liquid. This is from a previous batch of kombucha that I made. If you're just starting out, you can use white vinegar. You don't have to use the starter tea. And then I'm going to fill the rest of the way with water. Probably I'll need to add about another measuring cup full of water. But that's how you get it started to brew. I'm going to add some more water to the jar. That's enough, that will do. And then we're going to cover it with the coffee filter. This one came with this nice little temperature gauge on the side, and you can see that this one is at about 80 degrees right now. That's a really good temperature for fermenting kombucha. It can go lower than that, but 80 is about right. So you let this sit for 1 to 3 weeks. In warmer weather, probably 1 is enough, but it can go for about 3 weeks. And the SCOBY will eat up the sugar and the caffeine in the tea, and it turns into kombucha. Now I'm going to bottle the kombucha for the second fermentation. I'm going to put some blueberries in this bottle. You can use lots of different fruits. These were just some from a frozen bag I had in the freezer. Then I had some leftover cherries that I'm going to put in this one. Oops, there they go. And then one of my favorites is lemon and ginger. So I've sliced the lemon really thin so that it will come back out of the bottle when I open this one. And I'm going to put the ginger in it. Fresh ginger is better, but I don't have any today, so I'm just going to use a little bit of the powdered ginger. And then one more flavor we're going to do today is lime, and I bet I better use the funnel. I'm going to put a little frozen lime concentrate, and actually I think I'll put a dash of ginger in there too, and then a little bit more lime. Okay, now you can use just juices, fruit juices also. I'm not going to do that today, but that's another option for flavoring. Then we're going to add kombucha and fill to the top. That one's filling a little bit slowly. Let's help it along there. There we go. You fill it, I'm sorry, not to the top, but almost to the top, about 1 inch from the top to leave room for the fermentation and the expansion. And then I'm going to repeat the process with the other bottles and just fill them up like so. The funnel really helps you not make such a mess. Oh, that blueberry. Whoops, we got a little bit much on that one. Well, that's okay. And then this one. And I'll get some more kombucha. Oh, there's some more. And we'll do the last one. I'll bet that cherry one will have a nice, pretty red color too. That one didn't quite fill up, so I'm just going to add the fruit juice to it to fill the rest of the way up. There we go. Then we close the bottles, snap them closed really well, and let them ferment. This is called the second fermentation. Again, that one needs a little bit more. So it's okay to top it off with the fruit juice. The sugar will help it carbonate better anyway, the sugar in the fruit juice. And let them sit for about 5 days. If it's cool weather, they can sit a little bit longer. And that one's pretty full, so we'll go ahead and close it. Okay, so those are going to be delightful in just a little while. So here we have our finished bottles of kombucha ready to take their time for the second fermentation. They will sit for about 5 to 7 days. You need to burp them like this. Flip the top up and let the air escape. You need to burp them about once a day, especially in the warmer weather. We have this one that's a second batch. It's ready to go, and it will ferment for about 1 week to maybe 3 weeks, probably less in the summer, more like 1 week. And then it will be put into the bottles to be carbonated and make the fizziness happen. So I hope I've shown you how easy it is to make kombucha and convinced you maybe to try it on your own. Have a great day. This is Becky Dethlefs.